slide in her DM's. Ah, det sagde jeg ikke. Det sagde jeg ikke. 660 motherfucker, så koster den 388. Så vi tror, vi skulle lige skal tjene nogle penge. Det er ikke det, vi gør.
Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said sorry. I like it. Honest.
Nå.
Sorry.
Og vi fortsætter jo på den her rumstation. Groundbreaker. Og vi skal jo egentlig have fundet ud af, hvordan vi også kommer videre derfra. Og vi skal bruge noget, der hedder en nav-key til at komme til Stellar Bay. Og der er nogle... Der er forlydende, i hvert fald det er sådan, jeg synes, jeg kan fornemme, det er, at der er nogle mennesker her på den rumstation, der kan enten få os videre, så vi kan komme videre til nogle andre folk, så vi kan få adgang, eller der faktisk har direkte adgang. Så følg med her.
Have either of the assault cruisers?
Så fedt er vi Gladys.
All the luxury and comfort of a shipping container.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient or an oven. Just like store-bought.
Billy sent me. He said you could sell me a nav key to Stellar Bay.
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits,
Tell them about this opportunity.
I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits.
Let's see about the details.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years.
Where was Roseway abandoned?
Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
An abandoned outpost. You think it's haunted?
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around.
Maybe it's a sort of automated message.
Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms.
What?
So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide.
If it's corporate town with something to hide, why the SOS?
Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare hands to clean up the mess. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. My goodness, aren't you quick on the uptake? I like that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies.
I'll stop by if I find anything.
Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
What other jobs do you know about?
Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar. I found a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage.
Alright, så lad os snakke med hende der Johnny Lay.
Are you listening to me, Emperor?
Hvad?
You can't keep me out of there.
I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene?
See, Emperor? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let...
What's this about your friend?
Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long.
I can look in on this issue.
Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with...
What seems to be the... If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are powerful. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying. Not without dispensation from Chief Jun Lei, I fear. Supply... We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable.
Good on you, Doc. You don't want Cleo sinking their claws into you like that.
It's the board or the outlaws, I'm afraid. I'm beginning to wonder if perhaps the devilish board we know might be better than the pirates we don't. Take care.
Can't say I've seen you before. If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
Will it tell me to get off ask about the shipment?
Did he now? A mouth on that. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service
Who's Irion?
Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits.
I could try to find him.
I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where... You look out, though.
Okay. Er det kirurgiske værktøjer, eller?
What do you think you're doing? Just be careful.
I wish I could do that.
To the last ratchet on rotten time. Leave me! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed?
Er det sådan?
What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body.
Åbn det op for at kigge down.
Should have known she'd send a bruiser after me. Damned if I don't rue the day I saved her scrawny little hide. Inadvertently. Alright, okay. We can... Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an intent to listen.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low.
What did you do to get you in trouble?
What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear.
Yet you think the bot had someone follow you, and now you're hiding out?
Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week 1, assuming you want to keep breathing. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood-tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years.
So you stole it?
If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm.
Lord.
Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent.
Eddie asked me to help you, so what's plan I can do?
Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real pal.
Sure.
Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh?
Okay, cool. Thank God.
How do you do? Ah, how might I assist you?
I'm here about Jessie Doyle. I want the debt settled.
Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases.
She's more than life that put her under and I paid off for her.
I think you may have underestimated the size of Miss Doyle's debt. If you'll look over this itemized bill. I am extremely anguished, Captain. Please respect my feeling.
Nice one, Bedford. Everybody knows you were never engineered to have feelings.
Be careful you don't irritate my guards, Mr. Millstone. You might not like their rather narrow understanding of what constitutes excessive force.
Så blev han lige ond. I can't afford that.
Unless you can offer some other means of resolving her debt, I'm afraid we have nothing further to discuss.
Jeg vil ikke have hende under slaveri, faktisk. Så vi tror, vi skal tjene nogle penge. Det er ikke det, vi gør. Alright, lad os snakke med John Lee.
Wonder if they got some type of secret handshake.
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for You the one flying the Unreliable?
Nimm's Captain Freshwater 1.
Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come.
Nimm's Freshwater 1, Captain of the Unreliable.
Charmed. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere.
I didn't kill him.
I didn't ask. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings. But there's a catch.
Does this make us Sublight agents now?
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours.
Det har jeg ikke.
Interested?
But can I still take the job?
I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else...
I take it Sublight isn't strictly a salvage operation.
These days, the scrap business all but runs itself. Gives me the time to expand our interests into other
Does Sublight pursue other than salvage and shipping?
Our field is persuasive acquisitions. At least that's how my legal advisors tell me to phrase it. Not all of our salvage is abandoned when we find it. Sometimes it takes a polite conversation and a shot across the bow. You know, legal formalities.
So your company of bureaucratic privates.
Your words, not mine.
How organized is this business?
Very. I have this thing about numbers in spreadsheets, grids in general. I like to think of myself as the last honest businesswoman in Halcyon, but I'll settle for being the most organized one. Ask.
Alright, det fik jeg ikke ret meget ud af. Så vi skal snakke med Gladys.
What was your family like, Felix? Did you ever know him?
I never knew him. I was a stowaway. That's what they call orphans who grow up in the back bays.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. That must have been lonesome.
Come on, Parvati, who you talking to? Imagine me pining after my family.
The power plant?
Lad os snakke om hende, John Lee.
Was a time I wanted to be a...
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
That's place you got here, Chief.
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the comp. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family.
I'll do whatever I can to help you keep the peace.
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's... So what brings you to Groundbreaker?
No, that's my ship out of Unpoint. I can safely say I'm headed to Monarch.
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard. Felix Millstone. Nice to see you out of docking bay. Keeping your nose clean?
Yes, ma'am. Been at least a couple weeks since my last nose-related incident.
Uh-huh. I'm glad to see you in a captain's custody. Just try not to steal any critical parts from my ship.
I'll send some history here.
It's possible I got caught lifting some spare parts a couple years back, but it was only just that one time. Honest.
I'd tell you to stay out of trouble, but I know you'll find it anyway. Whatever you do, just make sure I don't find out.
Pavada, you wanted to talk to John Lee. Go ahead.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with...
Love is in the air.
Real spaceships.
Everywhere I'm looking around.
Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Slide in her DM's. Det sagde jeg ikke. Pavada, don't be shy about requesting time off if you need to compare your notes in person.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest.
No.
Sorry.
Thanks today. I had some other questions for you.
Not a problem, Captain. Ask away.
Skulle jeg ordne det der varmeproblem der, så jeg kan få noget XP og nogle penge måske. I heard you're having a heat problem. What's going on?
Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship.
Well, I'm sure your cable staff can stay ahead of the problem.
My engineers have managed to keep the heat to livable levels, but all the fixes are temporary. This wound is bound to fester. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner.
Is there no room for compromise?
None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive.
Okay. You need a contact at Twig. There's not. I'm available for recent wait. Is there any way I can help?
We'd be grateful for your assistance. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays.
Got it. I'll take care. The back base, I'm supposed to know where that is.
Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now.
Couldn't we try to talk this out with whoever is down there?
Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. They're content to die last. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts.
Okay, vi går ned. If you're touching anyone else down there to get the parts.
I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail.
Bro.
They didn't come back. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable.
None taken.
Nice and pragmatic. Thanks for understanding.
I'll get you those parts from the back base.
Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.